Serafino has done it again. We've seen quote unquote super groups like Black Swan, Wet, Sunbomb, and more. And now the lineup for Iconic is about as amazing as it gets. And we have singer Nathan James joining us again via Zoom. Nathan, welcome again to Back to the Arena.
Thank you for having me back.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
it.
problem. We spoke with you in September of last year when the Inglorious cover album dropped, and now we have Second Skin from Iconic to crank up this summer. Tell everybody about all the legends in the band.
Well, iconic is for sure the right word for those guys. I'm in a band with Marco Mendoza on bass, the legend that is Michael Sweet playing guitar and singing background vocals and sharing leads on a couple of songs. Joel Hoekstra shredding away across this album just in the most amazing way, and the legend, the icon that is Tommy Aldridge on the drums, which is just amazing for me to even say. Like, it's, like I can't believe it myself. It's so cool.
Yeah, but you forgot one icon.
Who?
The guy,
The
the guy I'm talking to.
no. I'm very aware that I'm the black sheep of this family. It's fine. Like I know that, and I'm okay with it.
Well, okay. Well, I'll leave you with your personal opinion, but I think you definitely deserve to be in this band.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The album it kicks off with "Run Fast as You Can," featuring both you and Michael Sweet singing. That sort of sets the tone of the album. Tell me a little bit about that song.
Yeah, it's a great hard hitting song. Super quick. We recorded the video out in LA. People should definitely check that out. It's so cool to trade vocals with Michael. He's got such an incredible instrument, and also on this song is a time where you get to hear them both, Joel and Michael, trading solos as well. So it's like a great showcase of this band's ability and everyone as individuals. Yeah, I'm super proud of it. It's a great opening song for sure.
Yeah, it's like a duel.
Yeah, definitely. And how cool is it that Michael Sweet has the option of shredding on guitar and also singing his face off. Like it's very rare that someone can do both of them to such an incredible standard.
Yeah, I just saw him recently here in Indianapolis with Striper, and I knew he was a great singer. I mean, everybody knows that, but watching him play guitar was pretty cool. I haven't seen him play live since 1988.
Oh wow, that was a good year. That was the year I was born.
That was the year I graduated high school.
Ah, nice.
I'm old. So you also released "Nowhere to Run" as a single. That song is one of my favorites on the album. Tell everybody a little bit about that one.
Yeah, that one is a great song. One of the first songs I recorded, and that's just me on lead vocals. Love singing it. Great big chorus, loads of harmonies, and Tommy's playing on it is just so heavy. It's exactly what you imagine when you think of Tommy Aldridge. It's big, heavy rock playing. Love the video for this one. The video is kind of a proper introduction to each member of the band, and it looks really great. It's like one of my favorite Frontiers videos ever. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you have a new single out as well. "All I Need" just dropped a few days ago. Tell me a little bit about that one.
That's the first song on the album that I wrote the lyrics and the melody for. So it was pretty cool that Frontiers chose it as a single to me because I had no idea whether or not everyone was going to like it. So it's pretty cool that they deem it worthy enough of being on there and also being a single. So I'm very, very pleased about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a nice song. It makes you feel good, and I think that's what we all need right now.
Yeah. Now, when you say you submitted songs, like how many songs do you guys submit for an album, and then what do you do with the ones that don't make it?
Well, I don't know how this time that works, but what happened was they gave me these two songs and they said, we want you to write the lyrics and melodies for these two songs. So I just did these two and they both said, yep, that's great. I'm not sure how many they got through before to get it down to this selection of 11. But I think it was kind of all just written specifically. Each track was written specifically for this project. So yeah, I think it's good. Hopefully there's no waste, but if there is, I'm sure we'll look at it if we come to do a second album.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. You talked about a song that makes you feel good. The song I have to ask about is Worlds Apart. Love your singing in that song. Every time I hear it, I kind of just close my eyes and zone out and get in a chill mood. Tell me a little bit about Worlds Apart.
It's beautiful, but great chorus.
Yeah.
And that would have been written by Michael and Alessandro, I'm guessing. But just stunning to sing. Like when I was in the studio, all of the footage that people got of me in the studio, I was just smiling in every take. Like I didn't look angry or metal at all. I was just so happy to be singing these songs, and to hear those guys like in your ear, like to be the first person to hear that track with Tommy on and with all these guys on is so cool. It's definitely a feel good album. It's not an angry album. There's definitely moments on there that are more hard hitting, but there's lots of soft moments. All I Need, especially Worlds Apart, like you said. This Way is lovely. Let You Go is a beautiful ballad as well. So there really is something on there for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I listened to the album preparing for the interview, Worlds Apart was the only song I went back and had to listen to a second time because I loved it so much. Not saying anything negative about the other songs, but that one was just caught my eye and probably my favorite on the album.
That's great because I've done how many? I've done 5 interviews today, and every single dude I've spoken to has picked a different song.
Wow.
And that is really impressive. That doesn't happen very often. There's always a standout, right? But it's been really cool to me to have these chats today and hear people say that. So yeah, I'm very, very, very happy.
Yeah, it's got to be what you want, right? You want everybody to like a different song, not everybody to pick the same song. And
no, of course. That means they're all great, right? That means
they're
all great.
And they are. Now, you mentioned Alessandro Del Vecchio, and originally my question was, have you worked with Michael and Alessandro before? But, anybody that's with Frontiers has worked with Alessandro Del Vecchio.
Only once.
Okay.
And that was on the, they did a kind of like charity lockdown song not last year, the year before. In the first lockdown, like during the pandemic, and I'd sung on that, and then Alessandro mixed that. That's the only time he's mixed. And I sung on Jeff Scott Soto's duets album, so he mixed that too.
I'm sure if you think about it, it'll be a lot more.
Oh yeah, I know. Now I'm training. But definitely those two things. So yeah, I've worked with Ali a little bit before, but never like this. He's never produced any Inglorious records.
Yeah. And what about Michael? Have you worked with him in the past?
Never. But I've met him a couple of times before we started working on this. So I met him first of all on the Monsters of Rock cruise many years ago. Inglorious were playing and Striper were playing, and we were doing a Q&A in the middle of the ship. Inglorious were, and telling stories about being on the road and being a young band and all this stuff. And Michael came into the atrium of the ship and he leant over the balcony and he just shouted in the middle of the interview, "It's the best singer on the whole ship." And all of the people started cheering, and I remember that moment. I think we had to stop the interview after that because I was just so speechless and drunk that I just couldn't believe that he said that. It was just amazing. So to finally work with him, someone I have such a great respect for, is amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be cool to have a singer of the caliber of Michael Sweet say that about you.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. I also met him in Argentina 2 years ago, around like Christmas time, and he was just so lovely. He's the loveliest man, and I don't think anyone rocks an eye patch as cool as Michael Sweet.
Yeah, he didn't have it on the night I saw him. I was fully preparing for that, but he didn't have it on. He had sunglasses on.
He looks so cool even with it on. Like it makes him cooler, actually. He's just amazing. He's amazing.
It kind of reminded. Did you watch Seinfeld? Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of the episode where Kramer had a patch.
Yeah.
Let's not put Kramer and Michael Sweet in the same boat, I guess. We recently had Michael on the show, and we know Striper has new music coming this year. I know you guys just released Inglorious. I'm speaking of a live album. Do you have anything coming down the road with them or anybody else?
We are currently just started writing a next album, a next originals album, and I know we're talking about doing some sort of acoustic record, which would be pretty cool. part of our deal with Frontiers is that we do an acoustic record. So while the tours aren't happening necessarily, it's always a good time for people to get these albums rolling. But we are about to announce a big UK tour for the end of this year, which is great. And hopefully we get out more to Europe next year. But obviously the situation still is very tricky to navigate. And people are losing money left, right, and centre. So I'm not going to do it until we're at a place where we can do it without worrying about that.
Well, I mean, that's good news for the UK people, but, you know, I'm here in the United States.
Well, we if Iconic sells enough albums, Frontiers would obviously be interested in making it tour. So I think that's the gauge, is these super groups that they keep, I hate that word, but these groups they keep putting together will only tour if the demand is there. And for the demand to be there, they need to shift units. So.
Okay, how many albums do I need to buy?
I don't know how many listeners you got, but if everyone bought at least
I'll buy them
one,
all. I'll buy them myself.
Yeah. But then that doesn't work because then you'll be the only dude at the show. You know,
well,
like
it has... front row. Oh, that's awesome. So I have to ask, you know, who came up with or where the band name Iconic comes from? I know you said they're all icons, but was there any other reason for that, or just simply because, you know, you're all icons, including yourself?
Thank you. That's very kind. I think that's a question for Serafino, because I've been describing this as like his baby, you know, like this is something that he has created. He came up with the idea of putting me with Michael and Joel and then adding the other guys. So it was his thing. He put the name forward. At first, I was apprehensive about it because I felt like I wasn't worthy of having that kind of title bestowed upon me. But I didn't win the argument. So therefore, here we are. And do you know what? The general consensus is that people like it. That people are liking the name. The album speaks for itself. I think it would be really awkward if the album sucks, but it doesn't. So we should be okay.
And what was the name that you wanted? Kick-ass dudes?
No, it was. I think it was a Michael Sweet suggestion, who came up with the name Rockland, and I really liked that. Like Rockland. Like
maybe the next album will be named that.
Maybe. I thought that was cool, but I'm happy now that people are enjoying it. I also think it's quite memorable. I think it's something that you never kind of struggle to remember it. It's quite out there. And it wasn't like we were calling ourselves Iconic. I think that's the main thing that I want to get across, is that Serafino definitely wanted it to be called that, and that's why it's called that.
Okay, gotcha. Now, are you going to be, I know we're only in June, but are you going to be touring again with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra this winter?
No, I'm not doing that anymore. No, I haven't done that. I did 3 years with TSO, and then I quit. I'm one of the only people to ever quit TSO, which is probably stupid of me. But it worked out in that I wanted to do my band thing and get my band set up, and I would maybe go back there eventually. Who knows? It's kind of cool. The guy that obviously took over from me eventually was Dino Jelisic, who is on tour with Whitesnake right now. So we've become really good friends. So if he ever can't do a tour, I'd be more than happy to go back and fill in. But I'm happy being at home, man. It's quite hard being away for that long, especially over the holidays, being in a different country, and and pretending I know what Thanksgiving is stressful.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if I ever saw you here in Indianapolis, because I've seen Trans-Siberian like 4 or 5 times since 2007, since I've been here. And I gotta wonder if because I know last time it was Dino and I saw Jeff, you may have seen me.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't remember.
I'll have to go back and see if I have any video.
Where did you see it? What venue?
They've changed names, but it's where the Pacers play. It used to be it's Gainbridge Fieldhouse now. It used to be they've had like 4 names since I've lived here.
Oh, okay.
But it's where the Pacers basketball arena there at downtown.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I think it's the only place that they play. So it's whatever it's called. That's where I saw you.
Nice.
Now I just got to see Inglorious. So I got to go start saving up all my pennies to buy a whole bunch of albums.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool for Inglorious to get out to America, but the Iconic thing, I think has a lot of live potential. And for me as a fan, like, how fun would it be putting the set list together? You know, like knowing that we can draw on everyone's
Right.
musical past, right? So me and Michael Sweet could sing a Whitesnake song, and then I could sing a Striper song, and then do you know what I mean? We could do anything. Like we, as far as like the band's credentials, there's such rich history there.
Yeah.
We could do an Aussie song. Do you know what I mean? We could do anything. Like that's the joy of having so many amazing musicians with such great CVs.
Right. Yeah. Now, okay. Now I have to ask, if you were to sing a Striper song off the top of your head, what song would you want to sing?
It would be To Hell with the Devil, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Because it's just, and I'd love to do it with him. It would
Yeah.
like it would be amazing. That would be like a big tick for me for sure.
See, I would have thought you would have picked one of the like big power ballads. That's what I was.
No, I
No.
like. I want something that's properly iconic. Do you know what I mean? Like that is. Yeah, I love it. I think we'd have a lot of fun doing. And if I was doing a Whitesnake song with those guys, it'd have to be something like Crying in the Rain or something.
Now you have to put a Spotify playlist together for everybody
Of the dream
of the dream
iconic
set list.
set. Well, because at the moment, right, we've only got one album. So we've only got 47 minutes worth of material, I suppose. So if we ever did do it live, we'd have to, unless we were supporting, we'd have to pad out the set a bit. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, since you've been here last time, we've started a segment called Rapid Rocker Response, and I have a few more minutes, so I'm going to have you partake in this. I'm just going to ask you some random off-the-wall questions, nothing to do about your music or anything like that, just to kind of pick inside your brain, as if we haven't done that enough.
Okay, go for it.
All right, which would you choose, sunrise or sunset, and why?
Sunset, because you're more likely to be drunk then.
You're more, so you don't like not being drunk, is that interesting? Start to the questions. When you're during your alone time, do you listen to music or do you prefer to have some quiet time?
Quiet time. I'm not a music listener really. It sounds really odd, I know, but if there's music playing, I find I'm too distracted by it. I find it too much to listen to.
Okay, I mean that's understandable. I mean it's your job, so why would you want to do your job in your off time?
Yeah, but there's some things you love, right? I prefer going to a concert. I go to a lot of concerts. So this month, for instance, I'm seeing, who am I seeing this month? Elton John, Alanis Morissette, Guns N' Roses, Diana Ross. Like I'm just seeing shows constantly this month.
Yeah,
which is fun. Which is fun for me.
It's cool that you see those groups because sometimes I get made fun of by the groups that I get to go see. Like two nights from tonight, I'm seeing Styx, Loverboy, and REO Speedwagon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a great time. But people are like, I thought you listened to Motley Crue, but I'm like, I'll go see Zach Brown Band when they're in town too. I love everything.
Yeah, me too.
I just wish Dennis DeYoung was going to be there. That'd be the only bummer about the whole show.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, are you a sports fan?
Not really. I'm kind of a forced soccer fan because my dad loves soccer. So.
Okay. Well, then we'll skip that question. Would you rather go to a movie or go to a play and see people performing live?
I'd rather go to a musical.
A musical. Yeah. Okay. Wasn't part of the question, but okay.
I love musical theater. Sorry. And yeah, I've got to see this new Top Gun movie because everyone's saying it's great. I'm going to have to go and see that.
Yeah. It's on my list too, but eventually I'll get there.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing the movies when they first come out. I'm weird like that.
Yeah, same. It's too many people.
Yeah. What always makes you laugh? What's something that gives you a laugh every time you hear it, see it?
Flatulence.
Okay. All right.
I'm British.
We're 12 years old again.
I'm British. Toilet humor will never not be funny. I don't think there's a. My dog farted a minute ago, and I had to stop myself from laughing. He sat just there.
It's Beavis and Butthead. If you could make up a holiday, what would you name it?
Oh, I don't know. It'd be something about eating though.
Is that something involving eating and drinking?
Yeah, like eating fest. I don't know. I love eating, so eating would be. Yeah. The theme.
Okay. Who would you want to be with on a deserted island?
Is it just one person?
Yeah. Yeah. And you can pick one, like celebrity wise and one normal, I guess.
Celebrity wise, I'd love to be. I'd love to be stranded with David Coverdale.
Okay.
I think it would be very entertaining, and he'd have great stories, and yeah, that's why him. And then someone like in real life. Oh, I
In
don't
real life.
know. I've got to pick like my member of my family or something. I'd take my dog. Screw people. I'd take the dog.
There you go. If you could only take one thing on that same deserted island, what would it be?
Um, it would probably be this piano.
Piano. Okay.
Yeah,
Gonna write some music while you're there, huh?
yeah. It makes me. It makes you forget. And it makes time go really quick.
Okay. Final question for you. What word that people use do you absolutely hate?
I hate when Americans screw up some of our best words,
Okay.
like like. Oh, it's a swear word. I can't say that.
You can say it.
We say twat,
Okay.
but you say twat, and I find that really annoying. Actually, there's lots of words you guys screw up of ours that are annoying.
Okay. Let's hear them. We got time.
You know what? You even change them. I don't like the word garbage instead of rubbish. I think that's stupid.
Okay.
What else did you fuck up? Um, there's a lot. There's too many. Actually, we haven't got time. How long's left?
So, how do you know that we're not changing them for the better?
What language do you speak?
This one,
Which is
English.
what? There we go.
Oh, I got you. I see where you're going with that. Well, Nathan, thanks for joining us on the show today. Everybody needs to go out and buy that Second Skin CD because I want to see them live here in the States and just to have a great rock album in general. Follow the band on Facebook at Iconic RNR and on Instagram at Iconic Official Music. Nathan, good to talk to you again. Best of luck with Iconic and Inglorious and everything else you do. And hopefully you can get out to that island with your dog.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, buddy.
All right, take care. We'll see you.
Cheers, man. Bye.